keep saying that they only showed certain years of his life, and I agree. I think that the most of what we saw happened over what, like a 2 year time frame.
Yes, 2 years exactly.
But it did go back. You didn't like the fact that it went back? There
I
were
said here.
flashbacks to his younger days.
I said that. I said, yeah, that was cool, but there wasn't enough of that to call it a biopic.
I just wish. See, here's what I think they should have done, and this is why
Oh,
I want to talk about it, because I had this thought when I saw the movie, but I didn't have nobody had seen it yet, and I couldn't talk about it. And then you hadn't seen it yet, so I couldn't talk about it here. But one of the things that I thought about was, okay, maybe this information should have come to us in a sequence. Maybe I did say this, but maybe the information should have come to us in a sequence rather than scattered around the place. Because
I don't mind scattered around the place. It just wasn't enough.
no, I'm not saying, but hear me out. I'm not saying everything should be like that. I'm saying this particular film and the way they did it would have, to me you don't feel the way you feel if they did it sequential. I don't think I don't think you would have noticed.
There's not enough. There's not enough of that content.
Well, they could have. I mean, obviously, at that point, they would have to fill in
But
some
you
blanks.
see, but now you're changing the whole movie.
Well, because I didn't necessarily care for the way they did that. The flashbacks that they did, I didn't really love that too much. I liked the film overall, and I did like the fact that they harkened back to his life as a child, and um and I did think it was cool that they gave us so much information about what he was going through over that few years, couple of years. I don't even think it was a full 3 years. It was 2 years, right? Yeah, I'm happy to have gotten that information, but I do think that if they had structured the film a little bit differently, I don't think that would be an issue. I wasn't sure if you had gone to sleep or if it had, because it froze and it
Oh,
froze with your eyes closed, and I was
oh.
like, wait, what
I was like, I
happened?
ain't sleeping. I'm up.
But yeah, so that's what I'll say about that. I think maybe that would have changed, and that would have changed your vantage point a little bit. Just a thought. Just I know you might not agree, but that's just the thought that I had in my head when I saw it.
I just think there just wasn't enough. If you're gonna call it a biopic, it got to be more. Like,
Yeah.
okay, here's what I'm saying. In a
Hmm.
doc, right? Like, let's say it was a documentary. In a documentary, they'll tell you in the beginning of the documentary, uh, JD went on a weight loss journey of 3 years, and we followed him around for the 3 years. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm only expecting the 3 years going into this. They did not do that.
Oh, Zen.
Oh, that's not gonna be 3 years. That's gonna be about 3 months. You know what I'm saying? If I hit the Ozempis, you know what I mean? If I hit the Oprah in about 3 months, I'd be looking like
Oprah is cursing the day she told y'all she took that drug. that's that's how you gonna look.
I'd be looking like,
Fitting into all the small spaces.
you know what I'm saying? Things be like, nobody fits there. Yes, I do. No, maybe you don't fit, but I fit.
Get you some Ozempic.
You know what I'm saying? If you had Ozempic like me, you could be wearing children's clothes too.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, listen, I'm short. I lose enough weight, I'd be riding like a boy's large. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious. I'm short. That's the truth. I actually have a picture from when I lost all the weight like 10 years ago, and I
Mhm.
had like a boy's extra large on because a boy's extra large is a men's medium. I found that out by accident. I had a coworker who was like, Jay, you mad skinny now, and my son don't want all these fly shirts that I bought. I don't want to return them. I said, I'm gonna give him the J. I said, you You think I fit your son's clothes? That's
Apparently.
offensive.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't realize her son was a teenager, and so
Yeah.
or like he was like 12 or 13 or something like that. He's an adolescent,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Jay, shut up and try on one of these shirts." And
Mm-hmm.
I went and tried it on, and it was like, "Oh, okay, what size is this?" And I went, we looked, and the boy's extra large. I was like, "What the hell?" It fit the same as my men's medium. Then I did a little light research. It's like, yeah, a boy's extra large is pretty much a men's medium.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So, if I
Works for
hit the
you.
Ozempis, I'll be shopping at Cookies, all of those stores. You know what I mean? Downtown Brooklyn, what
Oh my
up?
gosh.
Downtown
I heard
Brooklyn, what
someone say
up?
they
Be
were
right
going
in
to Cookies
Cookies.
in a long time.
They be like, man, your daughter fits clothes at Cookies. My daughter, no, she's down the block. She's buying some stuff from the women's store down the block. I'm here for me. I came to see what's the latest
I'm here
fits.
for me.
You know what I'm saying? I got to see. Let me see what y'all got. Y'all got the Ozempic section?
Oh my gosh. All right.
No.
All right. And ladies and gentlemen, this has been weeknights.
Adios.
The
See y'all
Ozempic
Monday.
section.
Yeah. Listen, in a minute, that's what they're gonna need. You know what I'm saying? In a minute, they're gonna need the Ozempic section because they keep out here just injecting and taking pills to lose the weight. And they're gonna act. People gonna be out here looking like.
We gotta go.
Well, no. What I was trying to say though is like in a doc, real quick. In a
Mhm.
doc, they tell you that beforehand, right? Where they say like much of this time, this is what was going on, and so we followed them around for this amount of time.
Yeah.
Um, or it's just very clear that all right, this was just for the making of the title of the project, right? Like it'll say like the weeknight doc. It's like, oh, all the stuff that happened behind the scenes during the time of the show weeknights that JD and Dash did.
Mhm.
But this was the Bob Marley biopic, and so I'm gonna need a little more than 2 years and some Salt Bay flashbacks. Just it was like, oh, he had another record deal. Let me show you.
Now what's he saying?
Uh, he had a white man who scared the hell out of him. Ugh. You just sprinkle a little memories. I need more than that. If it's a biopic, you got to really tell the whole story there.
Right.
And I enjoyed what we got. But
Mhm.
then I don't think it should have been called a biopic. I think it should have been called Bob Marley Exodus.
Exodus.
See, but that would have made more sense, right? We wouldn't have been in there looking for anything except the making of Exodus. And maybe that would have made us want more, like I want more now, and we just say, yo, can we get the full Bob Marley biopic? Because y'all gave us Exodus. That was super hot fire. Dylon, 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 and Dylon.
You gotta remember the fifth die line.
Gotta remember the fifth Dylon. And so we got this dope Exodus movie. Can we get the full jam now? Here's an example. Oh, get it. Get it. Okay. Yep. Get
This
it.
was the
Oh,
dancing you were talking about.
no, that's not the dancing. You have that. What you just did has rhythm. What the way Bob Marley dances? No disrespect to Bob Marley and his people. I know you got a big family. I don't want no beef, but that was not rhythmic dancing. That was like I'm in pain. Like my back hurts. Like when you throw out your back and they be like, oh, it's like what's going on with my back?
I think he just had the spirit in him.
When you catch a bad stomach ache, you go to get up. You know, it's looking like that.
All right. Let's
You started it. I wasn't even going to bring up the dancing.
you
Anyway,
uh-huh.
I
Hmm.
was going to say an example of this is there's an Amy Winehouse movie coming out called uh, Back in Black.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
really
not
excited
expecting
about
this to be her whole life because of the title. I'm expecting this to be about the classic album.
that. Yeah.
And so that makes sense. Now, if they decide to give us some of the making of Frank, some of her childhood, cool. But
Mhm.
based on the title, and I mean, I haven't seen any press. Now, I'm gonna be honest. If they start putting out press and say the Amy Winehouse biopic, and I need to see some toddler Amy, some adolescent Amy. You know what I mean? Like, you got to give me the whole Amy then.
Yeah.
But this is called Back in Black, and so just off the title, I'm like, oh, this is all about that album and probably its impact on music and her career, the Grammys she won,
Yep.
all of that. Like, I could see one of the big scenes being her beating out Beyonce, Rihanna, and everybody else and winning Song of the Year with Rehab. Like, that makes sense.
Hmm.
But if they call it but then you can't call it the Amy Winehouse biopic. And that's what I'm saying. So I think it would have been smarter if they did something like that and just called this Exodus.
Hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah. I think I get what you're saying. I get why that frustrates you.
I'm not mad. I just feel like call it what it is. Like, I think calling it One Love, the Bob Marley biopic, is just misleading. That's what I think. I think then that's not a biopic.
Okay. I understand. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not disputing what you're saying. Um, but yeah, you make
All
a
right.
good point,
Thank
and
you.
I respect your point.
Thank you. What did you think about the dancing from Bob Marley?
I was familiar with it.
Oh, so you knew going in.
Yeah.
I wish I knew going in because, like I said, I was like, yeah, see this?
I told you I grew up playing Bob Marley in the house.
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, I'm glad, like I said on the live, I'm glad I was alone. Because even if it was me and you, I'd have turned right to you and been like, why are they doing that?
Yeah, I'm not Jamaican, but
Why
I'm
they
Guyanese.
why they letting him dance like that? They got to give Bob Marley more credit than that.
Mhm. Well, did you come away with any music? Because you had said maybe you would walk away and find some new music that you wanted to dive into. Did you feel that way at the end of it?
I remember saying that, but
You did.
um, well, what it did was it definitely made me want to work on music. It reminded me when I was working on a specific project, which is what I said on the live. But yeah, obviously I wanted to go listen to Exodus, which by the way is not on Spotify. But yeah. Um
Oh well, all the Jamaican aunties would probably tell you to just go to YouTube
yeah,
and
sure.
you'll
I
probably
yeah.
find the
But
whole album as a video.
right, yeah. I figured that out at some point. But I immediately went to Spotify and was like, yeah, I'm about to
Exodus.
I must have wrote it wrong. Let me spell check it.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was good. As far as new music, I just thought maybe I should listen to Exodus. Didn't feel like
Okay.
uh, there was, I didn't feel like I needed to dive all the way into the Bob catalog.
I mean, that's fine.
Um,
I was just curious.
yeah, but I thought that was what really shocked me when I went to Spotify and it wasn't there. I was like, oh,
Hmm.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah.